Today, we're digging into a business model that could totally flip the restaurant industry on its head. And it all starts with one really simple question.
So let's really think about that for a second. Picture your favorite local spot, right? What happens when it's closed on a Tuesday night? Or, that quiet time between the lunch rush and dinner. All that empty space, it's just sitting there. It's basically a massive, untapped gold mine.
Well, the answer to that question might just be a platform called Geschmack. And honestly, the concept is so smart, so simple, that everyone's already calling it the Airbnb for restaurants. And that's exactly what it is. It's all about unlocking the hidden cash in all that downtime.
Okay, so this is all about monetizing downtime. But what's really interesting is that this isn't just a one-way street. It's actually designed to fix a problem that cuts both ways, for established restaurants and for up-and-coming chefs.
Yeah, think about it like this. You've got these two groups, right? On one side, you have restaurant owners with these amazing, fully equipped kitchens that are just empty for hours, sometimes days at a time. That's literally money down the drain. But on the other side, you've got all these super talented chefs, caterers, food entrepreneurs, and they're dreaming of a professional space, but the cost of a commercial lease is just insane. They're locked out.
So Geschmack steps in to be the matchmaker. It bridges that exact gap. For the restaurants, it's a brand new, totally risk-free way to make money. And for the chefs, they finally get affordable, flexible access to the pro kitchens they need to get their dreams off the ground.
All right, so that connection creates a huge opportunity. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of the sales model, because this is where it gets really powerful. We're talking about a system built around residual income.
Okay, so this is probably the big question, right? How does someone actually make money from this? Well, the key thing to understand is that it's not just about a one-and-done commission. Nope, the whole model is built for recurring, long-term income. Let's break down the actual numbers.
So the standard deal is this. An agent gets a whopping 50% of the net profit from every single event at a restaurant they sign up. And let me be clear, this isn't a one-time finder's fee. This is a weekly commission that keeps coming in week after week for as long as that restaurant is on the platform. But it gets even crazier. To really kickstart things, they're running a launch promotion. For the very first agents who get in on this, that commission skyrockets to 200% of the net profit. Yeah, you heard that right, 200%. All right, let's put some real numbers to this so you can see how it works. Imagine you sign up just one restaurant. They host one pop-up event a week, and it brings in, say, $6,000. Let's assume a pretty standard 10% net profit, so that's $600. With the standard 50% payout, you're making $300 a week. Not bad, right? But with that launch promo, that payout jumps to $1,200 a week from just one deal. And that is the magic of residual income. That one single restaurant, just one, can end up generating over $15,000 a year for you in passive recurring income. Now just imagine, you sign up 2 or 5 or 10 restaurants. You can see how that income really starts to stack up fast. So you might be thinking, okay, this sounds cool, but who is this actually for? Do I need to be some kind of restaurant industry guru to pull this off? Well, what's fascinating is that the ideal profile has way less to do with your resume and way more to do with your mindset. What they're really looking for is someone who genuinely believes in the idea. Someone with good people skills who's coachable and ready to learn. And here's the kicker. Notice what's missing? You don't need any prior experience in the restaurant biz. And what about finding restaurants to sign up? Turns out it's actually pretty simple. The sweet spot isn't the big corporate chains. It's the local, independently owned places. You're looking for venues that are closed at least one night a week. Or think about this, restaurants that don't do brunch on the weekends. I mean, those are basically pre-qualified leads just waiting for a call.
And we're not talking about a small niche market here. The potential is absolutely huge. Just look at the numbers for North America. You've got over 47,000 restaurants that are closed at least one night a week. And get this, over 100,000 that don't even serve brunch. Every single one of them is a potential partner. Okay, so this all leads to a really crucial point when you're talking about a game-changing business like this. Timing. Because let's be real, getting it on the ground floor of the right idea, that can change everything. And make no mistake, this isn't just some idea on a napkin. They've spent the last 18 months building out the technology and getting all the legal stuff sorted. With the official launch happening in April 2025, this is the definition of an early-stage opportunity.
You're looking at a window of time before any real competition even shows up.
And that's really the headline here. Right now, the number of companies doing this exact Airbnb for restaurants thing, it's zero. A big fat zero. It is a completely wide open playing field.
You can't help but see the parallels to the early days of the sharing economy, right? It's just like Uber or Airbnb. You know for a fact that copycats and imitators are going to show up eventually, but the agents who get in now, they get that priceless first mover advantage. They get to plant their flag first.
So all of this leaves us with one huge final question. We've watched the sharing economy completely change how we travel and where we stay. With a model like Geschmack now on the scene, you really have to ask yourself, is the entire restaurant industry about to get its own Airbnb moment?